Alright, what is going on everybody? Kevin Cage back with another crypto update, and we have a lot to go over in today's video. So in particular, we're going to go over this 1 month change on the XRP Ledger, over 77%. And then we also had some really cool news come out last week by the company Mastercard, and to no surprise, the company Ripple is involved. So we're going to go over that as well. And before we dive into today's video, if you enjoy this and if you learn anything, please hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. So let's dive in. So imagine that you go and tell an AI agent to go build me an online store to sell coffee or flowers or whatever you want, digital products. And without touching anything, the AI agent, it can go out, it goes and buys the domain name, it can build the website, it can pay for hosting, it can grab the images or even generate images for your online shop, it can set up a checkout page, and it does it all on its own based on whatever budget that you set. So what's really cool about this is all automated. There's no person manually responsible to click every single thing and confirm the payment 5 different times. So the machine is doing it all for us. And I know that sounds a little ways off, but literally we have Mastercard saying that we're building the payment rails for this type of use case. So we have Mastercard launches Agent Pay for machines to unlock super fast, always on payments. We can see more than 30 industry leaders, including Aiden, Ants International, we have Checkout.com, Cloudflare, we have Coinbase, Global Payments, Santander, Stripe, and so on, and of course Ripple is also involved or sitting right at the table. And you can learn more down below. This is called Agent Pay for Machines by Mastercard. So this is all about powering machine commerce with trust. So machines are able to do this always on, always making payments, and this even ties to micropayments and a lot of things that David Schwartz has said, how payments are going to be working in the background, and people aren't going to worry about it or even know how it works. And let's even read what Ripple said right here. So as AI agents begin transacting on behalf of businesses, payments need more than speed. They need trust, controls, and clear rules for how value moves. So again, this is operating on a blockchain. It is secure, it has governance, and it can have rules baked in. We're helping build the infrastructure for trusted agent-driven payments with the XRP Ledger and the Ripple US dollar, helping lay the foundation for the future of commerce. So right here, we know that Ripple is involved in supporting Mastercard's Agent Pay for Machines initiative, helping validate new use cases, establishing common rules, and accelerating adoption. And I can't emphasize enough what Mastercard says right here. This isn't just more payments, it's a new operating model for commerce. Now when we scroll through a lot of these groups, Lovable, MoonPay, Polygon, as you scroll down, Solana, we have Stripe, we have Tempo, I believe the new blockchain, by the way, by Stripe. We have Turnkey, I think that's T54, and the company Ripple made an investment in their seed round. So yeah, here's T54, bets $5 million on AI-driven DeFi with T54 investment. So I can't emphasize enough, this isn't just more payments, the future is obviously going to be agentic AI, tokenization, and blockchain. So thinking about micropayments, really just micropayments as the name explains, they could be fractions of a penny, they could be happening thousands or millions of times per day in the world of commerce, all in the background. And payments today, obviously, they were not built for machines doing this thousands of times, making a bunch of micropayments every single second. We also know the massive predictions for the stablecoin market. Obviously, why are stablecoins being used? They are easily understood by regulators. They can transact in fiat, they can have reserves, a one-to-one peg, and most importantly, we also have the regulation for it. We have the Genius Act, a federal framework for stablecoins. So yes, stablecoins are absolutely going to be growing over the long term. And remember that stablecoins run on top of blockchain, so for the Ripple US dollar, when it's running on the XRP Ledger rather than Ethereum, every single transaction burns a very small amounts of XRP. So XRP is the native asset, the utility token essentially of the XRP Ledger, so imagine that scaling up to billions of transactions every day. And just think about every single type of transaction with machine-to-machine commerce. And not financial advice, but that is one of the many reasons why I hold digital assets long-term. And another important thing I want to go over is this news, and this came out by CoinDesk. I know I already did a video going over this. If this AMM amendment passes, this could close the biggest DeFi gap on the XRPL. So we can check out the GitHub, and this is Amendment XLS AMM Swappable Curves 547. So to my knowledge, this is still a draft because I don't see it on the amendments registry on XRP Scan. But mark my words, either this is going to get passed or something very similar will get passed because this is where the future's headed. So right now with the XRP Ledger, if you're trading stablecoins or tokenized RWAs, and we know there's a variety of different asset classes or other trading pairs, there's not really a singular fix or customization for every single pair that you're trading. So if you're trading stablecoins or swapping the Ripple US dollar to USDC thousands of times in a single day, you might get hit with a little bit of slippage or fees. But obviously, with machine payments, if you're making thousands or millions of transactions in swaps every single day, every fraction of a penny or every little fee and slippage makes a difference. So if it's too expensive, the entire AI agent's business model would break. So what this AMM would do would allow stablecoins like the Ripple US dollar to trade one-to-one with virtually no slippage, so active trading pairs would get tighter, more efficient thanks to concentrated liquidity. And then even other RWAs or real-world assets, they could get special or specific pricing to actually match how those assets move and function. So really just building it to work with modern times and traditional finance. So I believe this is a draft, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, this would allow agents to really use the XRP Ledger profitably. So I'm a strong believer that this or something like this passes in the near future. And hopefully it's clear even Mastercard sees the opportunity in unlocking billions of dollars in machine-to-machine commerce. Next up, let's go over this. So we are on DeFi Llama, and let me just zoom out on the page so I can actually scroll up. So we have the Ripple US dollar market cap, just under $1.7 billion. Now when we scroll down, we can see the Ripple US dollar is issued both on Ethereum and the XRP Ledger. So hopefully my overlay isn't blocking it, so let me zoom back in. So as we scroll over, we have Ethereum and the XRP Ledger related to the Ripple US dollar running on these networks. Now, something really interesting is we can see that Ethereum's 1 month change is down almost 25%, whereas the Ripple, or not the Ripple US dollar, the XRP Ledger, or the Ripple US dollar on the XRP Ledger is up over 77% in a single month. That was one of the biggest jumps I've seen in a long time, and we can see that the amount or circulating supply of the Ripple US dollar on the XRPL is getting closer and closer to that 50% mark. Now, we already know that they launched on Ethereum really initially because that is where all the DeFi activity is, so it makes sense. But I did want to point that out because it seems like a lot of the supply, and maybe even some new supply, is bridging to the XRP Ledger more and more. And friendly reminder to every single crypto investor out there who plans to retire wealthy, there is no such thing as a perfect time to start. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. There's no such thing as a perfect entry, there's no such thing as a perfect market. Everything happens in phases. Every single perfect entry is only looked at as a perfect entry in hindsight, years down the road. So there's only action versus inaction. So you have to really think about the wrapper and how you're securing your assets, how you're accessing them on a daily or weekly basis. And if you've been thinking about opening an account on iTrustCapital, just do it. Open it, fund it, and you get a $100 funding bonus linked in the top of the video description. It's really important to be prepared now before masses flood in and any future hype cycles. And for anybody that does a 401k rollover, that can take 2 to 3 weeks. An IRA transfer can take 1 to 2 weeks. Now, if you just fund a new account, it's virtually instant. The most important thing is this: funding is the step that actually positions you, so don't be the person waiting on a wire when the market wakes up. So this is linked right in the top of the YouTube video description. Go check them out. I have been with them since 2020. You can choose between an IRA, a PCA, or even a treasury account. And I'm not giving you investment advice or financial advice, but in the crypto asset class, I choose a Roth IRA so everything grows 100% tax-free. Click the link in the video description and click Get Started, create a login, just email password, and you are halfway there. And a quick side note, I wanted to give a big congrats to Kevin Maloney, the CEO of iTrust, on being named EY Entrepreneur of the Year. So big thanks to iTrust. I know that a lot of us remember them being one of the first platforms to relist XRP years back. So big congrats to Kevin, great name by the way, and I'm excited to see this summer with stocks and ETFs being available on iTrust, a single login being able to trade 100 different cryptos, precious metals, and tons of stocks. Alright, let's finish up today's video strong. So we have a few things related to Ripple with some investments in Flutterwave along with the Ripple US dollar. So first, we have the Ripple US dollar finally live on Gate.io. So we can see additional trading pairs against Tether, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. We also had a new partnership bringing the Ripple US dollar stablecoin to Turkey. So we have the Ripple US dollar now available for institutions or two institutions in Turkey through 3 new partnerships with Berlira, Bitexen, and Bitlo. We have Jack McDonald, SVP of stablecoins over at Ripple, saying that Turkey sits at the crossroads of traditional finance and the digital economy with one of the world's highest rates of crypto adoption. They're a global leader in digital asset adoption and remains the dominant crypto market in the MENA region, facilitating nearly $200 billion in annual transaction volume. We can also see that Ripple is proud to announce the Istanbul Technical University as the latest partner in its Global University Blockchain Research Initiative, or UBRI. So they're advancing research initiatives in a variety of countries, a variety of universities, and there's a method to the madness because they are basically just trying to train the next generation of developers, ensuring the next generation of Turkish researchers and students are at the forefront of blockchain innovation. And last but not least, a company that we should all know, or at least years ago, is Flutterwave. So they're a large company based in Africa. So we have Reese Merrick, and he is the Senior Executive Officer, Managing Director, Middle East and Africa over at Ripple. We can see that Ripple has made another strategic investment in Flutterwave. And we also know that Ripple the company has been on a huge acquisition spree, buying a bunch of companies over the past few years. I haven't even really tracked all the investments they've made, even in T54 for AI-driven payments. But anyways, we have the Ripple US dollar embedded into Flutterwave's payment rails, XRP Ledger for faster clearing, Ripple payments, bridging cross-border corridors across Africa. So we can see that Ripple the company participated in Flutterwave Series E with strategic investment. So this is all about African stablecoin payments. We can also see right here Ripple's payments network and the XRP Ledger into Flutterwave's payment infrastructure, creating an unstoppable stablecoin native financial superhighway that positions Nigeria and the broader continent at the forefront of global digital asset adoption. And right now, after this funding round, it looks like Flutterwave is valued at around $3.2 billion. So I'm expecting them to grow, and they are embedding the Ripple US dollar into its core ecosystem. So friendly reminder, there is a giant playbook going on between acquisitions, stablecoin rails, tokenization, custody, compliance, in a variety of countries, universities, and even Ripple's National Trust Bank Charter that hopefully we could see in the next, 15 months. So a lot is going on. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. You can find all links to my crypto resources, including tools for charting, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts right in my link tree in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.